for making Saints Central
your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. Thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
We got one. All right, anyway, man, let's hit the halftime report. We'll bring in Pops Q in a little bit to hear from y'all. Stay close, man. We're gonna bring in the post press conference from Kellen Moore, a happy Kellen Moore, and also we'll bring in we'll bring in Pops after that, and you probably hear from Spencer Rattler too, him getting his very first win. And 10 and 11 tries, the man. I'm so happy he got a win, man. I was tired of hearing all that stuff about Spencer being 0-4, and if I was tired of it, I know that man was sick and tired of that stuff. I keep hearing all that kind of crap, but nonetheless, man, we get it, man. We handle that business, man. All right, anyway, let's jump right into them now stats there, fam. Y'all hit the like button, fam, for a win. Hit the like button for a win. All right, so anyway, first down, Saints kind of lost that battle 23-18. The third downs was 7 of 15 for the Saints. Actually respectable. 3 of 10 by the Giants. They were 1 for 1 on the fourth. Saints 61 total plays versus 70 by the Giants. 335 yards of total offense versus 332 advantage Giants. 10 all on the drives. Yards per play, Saints 5.4. Giants were over 6, but dropped to less than 5 in the second half. The Saints went on a 23 unanswered point scoring drive that helped move the game along, while literally as they piled up points, 23, whether it's defensive, special teams, whatever the case may be, they added 23 on top while the defense took away the Giants' opportunities, did not allow them to do anything. And I thought that was really solid toward the back end. They made the proper adjustments. Yards per play, 5.4 versus 4.8. Advantage, Saints 244 yards, 199. Saints win that battle. 8 yards passing per play by Spencer Rattler. Saints didn't get that big mark of running that we wanted to see. They only finished with 88 yards on 30 carries for 3 yards a run, 136 rushing yards, 29-yard attempt, almost 5 yards per run by the Giants. Would have worked if they wouldn't have had all the turnovers. The Saints forced them into fumbles, interceptions, this sort of thing. Was very positive. Despite that, the Saints were 0-3 in the red zone. Defense just really did a wonderful job. 2 of 4 by the Giants. They kept the penalty down to a degree, 7 of 43. Penalties really didn't impact us like that at a certain point. 8 for 95 by the Giants. They really kind of hurt themselves. 8 penalties, almost 100 yards, 5 turnovers will not work for you to get a win. Saints also took 1 of the turnovers and turned them into a touchdown. That helped break the game open. Saints didn't control the clock. 31-50 for the Giants versus 27-30 by way of the Saints in the matchup. So Looking at the individual box numbers and final score, Spencer Rattler, 20 of 30 for 225 yards, 7.5 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, and a rating of 100.0. Good day for Spencer Rattler. It was very solid and respectable performance by him. Taysom Hill came in and threw a pass for 19 yards. In the game, Kendre Miller was the top rusher, 10 carries for 41 yards, 4.1 yard average. Elvin was 8 for 27, 3.4. Spencer scrambled 6 times for 21 yards for the day. Rashid Shaheed was the top dog, wide receiver rise, 4 catches, 5 targets, 114 yards, 1 touchdown, 28.5 yard catch average, 87 yard touchdown to the house. Chris Olave, 7 for 59, 8.4 off 11 targets. Elvin was 4 for 28 off of 6 targets. Jawan was 2 for 17 off of 4 targets. So on and so forth. Cam Jordan was the one that recovered a fumble, so did Jordan Howden. He also returned it to the house, and Jonas Sanker. 3 fumble recoveries by the Saints. Pete Werner led the day, him and Demario Davis. Pete had 11 total tackles. Demario finished with 10 tackles. Alante had 8, Jonas had 7, Granderson had 6, Rumpf has 5, and they did a really good job. Despite that, nobody got home to the quarterback. You had Granderson got to the quarterback, they pulled it away, took the sack away from him, said it was roughing the passer. That was a bunch of BS. Kool-Aid McKinstry went off. He had 2 interceptions in the game. Kool-Aid was huge in the game. Kool-Aid did his thing, 4 tackles, a couple of pass defense. He had 2 picks in the game. Could have been a third one. He could have made a play on that last one if he wanted to, but smartly knocked it away. And we did what I think. Blake Grupe, 4 of 6. Kicking the field goals today for the Saints. He added 14 points. Kai Kroger, 2 for 83 in the matchup. But like I said, Jackson Dart in his first effort against the Saints finished with 26 out of 40 for 202, 5-yard throw per throw, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, and really his numbers dropped. 7.3 Saints opened up. And that just a can of you-know-what in the second half, and just really took everything away from the Giants that they had. And, of course, once again, the scoring drive looks like this. Theo Johnson and the Giants started off within the 9:34 of the first quarter, hit on the Saints. It was 7-0. Saints respond at 1:40 in the first quarter with a 28-yard field goal by Blake Grupe, made it 7-3. Second quarter rolls around. Another touchdown by Theo Johnson from the 13:01 mark in the second quarter. 15-yard pass from Jackson Dart made it 14-3. And then it changed. The Giants never seen the scoring anymore. After the second quarter, early in that second quarter, the game changed. The Saints then, with a field goal at the 7:41 mark from 53 yards out, made it 14-6. Then the touchdown came at the 5:16 mark in the second quarter. Rashid Shaheed, 87-yard pass from Spencer Rattler, made it 14-13, baby. And before halftime, the field goal, as the Saints kept it moving with the turnovers, was able to kick a 29-yard field goal before half. The Saints take the lead and never gave it back. The third quarter, field goal at the 6:55 mark in the third quarter, made it 19-14, and Jordan Howden at the 14:47 mark in the fourth quarter with an 86-yard fumble recovery that went for a touchdown, lifted the Saints 26-14 to their first win of the season. Saints are 1-4 and 1-2 at home. The Saints are setting up something positive. This is a good win for the black and gold. Defense was there. Offense has some explosive stuff going on. Some positive stuff as well, man, in the game. So we're gonna bring in Pops Q into the broadcast. Pops, do you have the TV on? You got a lot of noise in the background, sir.
That's your mother. That's your mother in the kitchen. She's doing some stuff. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good now, Pops.
I turned the TV off because I knew it.
Yeah, Mom in there frying up a storm. I hear.
She's getting ready to put some cabbage together. Could have put a meal together for today.
Oh yeah,
your mother. Yeah,
I'm in the wrong place over here.
Yes, sir, you are.
Hey, Pops, listen. The Saints won today, 26-14. They went. What was an unanswered 23 points. You broke it down in the scoring breakdown. The Saints took their heads. It wasn't a perfect matchup, but it was a gutsy win by the black and gold. What are your thoughts on the game?
The defensive coordinator, I got to give him credit because he confused Dart, the Giants quarterback, with some defensive schemes that had him trying to do too much with what he had. The plays weren't there, and then the Saints caused a couple of turnovers. I love the one for the touchdown. the football was clearly out when they picked it up and ran. So it's a good win for them. I really glad. As I said last week, I expected them or predicted that they would beat the Giants, but the game was pretty good because they did not sack Dart, but they caused him some confusion in his head. Like he just dropped the football in one instant. Said, "Oh, there's a man coming!" Football went down right there. And Saints got it. But one other thing I want to say, I'd like to see them, open the offense up a little bit more. Because they aligned a lot on the run, which they ran the ball fairly well today. They did. They ran the ball fairly well. But sometimes, like they went over the top. You have to stretch these teams out to get to their defense. If you never throw the ball downfield, and he threw the ball one time downfield, and it just so happened that he was able to get Shaheed, and Shaheed is the fastest player on the team. Right. Shaheed can run at 20. He was running at 22 miles an hour. They clocked him running at 22 miles an hour on that touchdown run. And it's just amazing, that it was a thing of beauty to see that. And the Saints need to try more of that if they have the opportunity, because teams load up in the box to put blitz on because they know Rattler's a young quarterback. They're gonna blitz him. See, because they load 10 in the box, and he can't. Most of the time he can't do it, especially on third down. And he's learning. I'm watching him starting to learn because they didn't sack him today, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't get to him, and also the Saints didn't get to Dart either. But the turnovers that caused New York, the Saints came up with turnovers. That was the one thing that I was looking for them to do, to try to create turnovers, and they was able to create turnovers. And that's what the points off the turnovers would help them to win the game.
Yeah, Pops, absolutely, man, because I was looking at it and I said to myself, like, yeah, there's a few things in just being looking at it and thinking how to improve upon the game. The Saints had a lot of positives in this game. The defense, in my estimation, were really awesome, especially on the last several drives. The Saints got interceptions, got fumbles, even scored off of one of the fumbles. So it was a lot to talk about that was positive in the game. Of course, there's stuff to clean up, but win and learn. That's the point is win and learn.
Exactly right. The young quarterback didn't turn the ball over, which was good. He knew where to go with the ball. He took his time, read his reads, and I could see some growing in Rattler. I see some maturation. He's starting to mature a little bit as a quarterback, and he's starting to settle down like a lot of quarterbacks with experience. They learn to settle down and then let the offense. They control the offense. Just execute your plays, which is what they did, and also the outstanding running get the Saints running backs, Kamara and the other kid. They did some good running. Miller did some good power running, and that helped to secure it. That was one of the among the things that helped secure the victory for us today.
Yeah, very positive for the Saints, man, and we needed a win, Pops. We had a month worth of losses. We sit up here 0-4. The Saints turned the tide, man. Get a win against a Giants team. We're supposed to win this game, and they did.
Right.
I'm happy for that. Up next, we got the Patriots here, but we're gonna enjoy this win and build on this, some stuff to work on. But man, we one game at a time. We can march this thing and get back out of this damn hole, Pops.
That's it. That's exactly right. I don't know if New England won today or not. The Patriots won today. I don't know, but they're a beatable team also. They're a beatable team. We get our offense on track. Look like our defense is beginning to come on track. So they can do what defenses do. They're developing and coming and playing much better. This should be a fun game, and I think New England's coming here, right? So this should be a fun game. This should be a fun game too.
Yeah, Pop. They're coming to New Orleans. They have the Buffalo Bills tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're 2-2. That's going to be 2-3. I don't think they'll beat the Bills. But you never know in the NFL, man. So, yeah, indeed, man. I just see it as I think it's a good Rattler it was wonderful, man. He did what he was supposed to do.
He did what he was exactly right.
What do you think about that? When Taysom comes back, Pops, the way they use Taysom Hill in contrast to what Spencer Rattler, what you think about how Kellen Moore used him today? Did you kind of like what he did today?
Yeah, I like the way he put him at quarterback to surprise the Giants, because they normally when you put Taysom in here, he usually runs it, which he did run it the first time they put him in, but they kind of stopped him. But that pass, he got a quarterback mentality also. So you put him in there at quarterback to spell Rattler, and he made a pretty good pass. He did a nice pass downfield for a first down conversion, and he was right on the money. So he's a quarterback, but he's also a running back, and he's a Swiss Army knife. So you use him in that capacity, and now this is another weapon that our coach has to use to help get these victories for us.
Yeah, shout out to P-Mac. He says, I'm agreeing with Pops Q. Kellen Moore needs to open up the offense. His play calling is weak.
Yeah.
I think he's doing this on purpose because he wants to get this guy Tyler Shuck, and then he'll open up the offense. Sabotage. I see what you said, bro. All right. Thank you, P-Mac. Shout out to you, man. All right. Yeah, the Saints. Y'all throw it in the chat, man. How y'all feel about the win today? The Saints on the winning side. Hey, man, we got to win. The start of October, Pops, we got to win, man. So I think that's pretty cool, man. Kool-Aid McKinstry. Now, we gave Kool-Aid a little tough love the last couple of weeks because he's been struggling. But, Pops, Kool-Aid really had a stellar game. He had a couple of interceptions in this game. He was fantastic, At first, he had a little difficulty, but later on the game kind of opened up for him. And the Saints made the adjustments and literally took away whatever.
That's exactly right. They made, you said the key.
Yeah, well, whatever the New York Giants were trying to do. So kind of talk about the Kool-Aid effect.
Man, Kool-Aid took the heart out of the Giants quarterback. He threw the ball down the field, and Kool-Aid made a great play. One of the pass, actually, the one that I think was the second one, actually was underthrown, and Kool-Aid made the pick. They put pressure on Jackson, and he underthrew the pass. And that flea flicker, just like in that flea flicker, that was a great play too. They broke that pass up. But Dart underthrew the ball, but that allowed the defensive back to get there and knock the ball down. That's great defensive secondary play today.
Yeah. Hey, I really was impressed how the defense just took the opportunities away from the Giants, Pops. They were looking so confident in the fact that they were trying to think about scoring, and then there would be a fumble, then there'll be another fumble, then there'll be an interception, then there'll be a fumble return for a touchdown, and then another interception. The Saints just had that confidence, man. But, Jay, you're absolutely right. I love what Kool-Aid McKinstry did today. We were kind of picking at him, calling him a Crystal Light McKinstry, but he damn sure played like Kool-Aid today. That is what we expect from Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yes, he did.
Performance like he did today, Pops.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. He made some great plays, and that helped to seal it. The last one was one that really helped seal the game. But I'm still not impressive with the run stopping ability of the New Orleans Saints. New York was basically able to run up and down the field on them. You got to be able to stop them runs, especially them third and short plays. Scatterboo had several power runs. I call them power runs. Just bulldozing through the defensive line, and then he before he hardly get touched, he done ran for 4, 5, 6 yards before he can even get put down. So we've got to work on that power game. I don't know where New England stands with that, but Scatterboo showed me something. He ran that ball. He really ran that ball, Yeah, he was like that guy Uzbek. He used to play for the 49ers. Just a big bruising fullback type runner. It's hard to bring him down. But the Saints had problems with him, but for the most part, what they were stopping the run because they very seldom got New York off the field, so the defense could rest. We have to work on that running game. That run, their run, the tackling also is really bad. That they got to improve the tackling.
Yeah, I was talking about that during the broadcast, looking at it, saying, "Man, wow." Like I said, some things like from a coaching standpoint, you're going to look at it, and I know Coach Moore is going to, when he breaks down the tape for Monday, he'll look at it and see all the positives and some of the stuff they have to just crystallize and get together for the upcoming week to improve upon. Yeah, we're still not there yet offensively speaking. I do appreciate the Rashid Shaheed 87-yard touchdown strike. After that, we really kind of went somewhere else. The play calling kind of changed. I think Kellen Moore might have been kind of trying to jolt the offense some kind of way. With Taysom coming there, a little bit of experimentation there. But in the end, yeah, we definitely have to be more stable, offensively speaking, to be able to score. Because we still were 0 for 4, I think it was. We were 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 in the red zone. So there's some stuff to work on, man, moving forward. But win and learn. Pops, winning and learning is something that I love to do, and it's very possible. So when you think about what other players in the game impressed you, Pops, outside of Kool-Aid? We talked about Kool-Aid McKinstry. We talked about Rashid Shaheed. Any other players out there? We mentioned Spencer Rattler. Anybody else you want to mention about offense, defense, or special teams?
Well, I mean, the special teams almost gave up a big run. New York got all the way to almost to the Saints 50-yard line. I'm concerned. I'm still concerned about them special teams. They played a lot better than they did when they played Seattle, but they're still giving up these big punt returns. And then our kicker, our punter, he's not punting the ball out of the end zone, or when you're kicking this ball back to the team, instead of him trying to angle kick the ball where it can go out of, if they punt, put it out maybe 2 or 3 yard line. Maybe we don't have that kind of guy no more. That could put the ball out at the 5-yard line or something like 3-yard line, inside the 10-yard line. Back these offensive these teams up and let them march still into the field. Yes, Kelly.
Here you go,
And a lot of positives coming out of this thing.
How did you personally feel when you were celebrating in the locker room with the team afterwards?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, this is a special group. Their resiliency to hang in there through some challenging times the first month. By no means is it the perfect script to start a journey together as a group. But I thought our guys just battled the entire game, and it was really fun to see those guys. Yeah. Obviously, you got to get in the win column first, and then obviously you can carry momentum. Hopefully, moving forward, and we can feel it. We know what it looks like. We know what it feels like, and so now we got to keep getting better. This is what an NFL season's about. You got to keep getting better, and more opportunities will come ahead of us.
How would you describe what the mood was like in the locker room? I guess it's barely happened.
Yeah, it's an awesome group. We have an awesome group. I love the energy. I love the joy that these guys bring each and every day, and certainly, for a lot of our guys, it's not just obviously me. It's a lot of this group is coming together for the first time. For Spence, for him battling through a lot of things through the last year and a half for him, and so I was fired up for him as well.
Kellen, could you talk a little bit more about the defense? You got down 14-3 before the turnovers just started.
Yeah, turnovers, resilient group, and, the play style, you never know which play is going to make a difference in a game through all 4 quarters. And I thought, our defense just did an incredible job of attacking the football. To create 5 turnovers in a game is really, really special.
What did you see in the one from Brian Brzee that Jordan Howden returned? What did you see about what Brian was able to do?
Yeah, just excellent job attacking the football. And I haven't seen the perfect look yet, but I've seen one. He's attacking the football, and I think that's the special thing. We've seen it throughout the NFL the last couple days, through the NFL. Certainly Thursday night was an example again by the Niners. And so, these defense linemen, they just keep attacking the football, and eventually it's going to pop out.
If you don't mind, would you describe your personal, what you're thinking as you're watching that play, that emotional
Yeah, I mean they were grinding it out, and so they were grinding out a long drive, and so for our guys to make that play immediately, as soon as Jordan scoops up the ball, I think he immediately looked to what's ahead of him, and there was a whole lot of green grass, and I thought our guys did an excellent job getting out in front of him, creating a couple blocks, just securing it, and so allowing him to go score. It was a game-changing play.
Did you see anything that you liked about what the defense did today? Because it wasn't going all that easy early in the game before they were able to kind of.
Yeah, I thought just continue to attack the football, and so I thought our defense line continued to rush, continue to find plays. Jackson's going to be a really good quarterback in this league. He's a really good player. He's going to buy time. Plays are going to last longer. It's going to be challenging for our defense line, and they just got to keep going for it.
What did you see from Khalil McKinstry throughout the week leading up to what was the big game?
Yeah. just so happy for him. He is a phenomenal player. We think the world of him. He's played some hard downs the first few weeks of the season, and for him to come up with 2 big-time interceptions and made a bunch of plays throughout this entire game, I was so fired up for Kool-Aid. He deserved everything that's coming his way this week, and so we're really excited for him.
Same question for Sanker, especially with Justin going out early.
Yeah, obviously Justin going out early, challenging situation. Jonas hopped in there and obviously continued to play, and then Jordan hopped in there, and so big time job by both of those guys.
Getting like a lift from Taysom being active today, did that just like kind of spark you guys at all?
Yeah, it was fun. It was awesome to see Taysom, to see Foster out there competing, playing. They've been through a lot. Taysom had some hard downs in the run game, and I thought, the play action pass, the opportunity to throw it in that short yard situation was obviously awesome, and thought he made an excellent decision. Really good throw because the corner's playing over the top, and so it was a big time play. We needed that in that situation.
Is he on like a snap count today?
Yeah, his role obviously will evolve. He's just coming back, and so I thought, he did punt protection, and then he did some, obviously snaps in some offensive situations, and as he goes, he'll just keep growing that as we go.
When was the decision made for the 2 of them to lead pregame chant, and did you know it was going to get that kind of?
We talked about it earlier in the week. Yeah, once we kind of felt like those 2 were trending and they were going to be ready to play, it was kind of a no-brainer.
At what point was that decision made to have them available for this game?
Felt really good about it going into this week. We had to obviously see the evidence on the field. Both guys hopped into Wednesday's practice, did an excellent job, really reconfirmed what everyone believed. And, again, credit to those guys, their work, credit to our training staff, all the long journey that all those guys have been on, Ben, Sean, the rest of the crew in there. We got some of the best in the business in there, and they work a lot. What these guys have gone through the whole offseason, through the summer, being there at training camp and not being able to participate and all the things they've had to wait through. For them to be ready when the opportunity presents itself, I think credit to all those guys.
Were you sitting on Taysom for a while, the one that he threw to Juwan Johnson, were you sitting on that play for a while, like you knew that they had played him early, that was going to work later?
Yeah, it was in our pocket based off the look, and so we had a couple plays in those short yard situations designed for Taysom. Obviously, based off their look, we felt like there's a chance to be aggressive there. We're probably going to go for it on 4th down anyway, so we can be aggressive and see if it happens.
For an offensive mind, is that exciting? Just have a guy that you can.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun as we build this. Taysom hopped in there. He had a handful of roles in this game. Obviously, some of them weren't really utilized yet, and so there'll be more coming, more expanding, and obviously his ability to just play all these different positions will be a huge advantage for us.
Was that about the emotions on the long scoop and score? Whenever you called action earlier in the game, that 87-yard touchdown to Rashid Shaheed, what were you thinking when you saw the ball in the air? Yeah,
as soon as I saw the leverage by the safety in the corner took Juwan, we knew we had an excellent opportunity. Beautiful route, beautiful throw by Spence. It was just it was a really cool play. We needed that. An explosive play. We've been trying to chase these explosives. They haven't happened. It's been frustrating for the whole group, but they're hanging in there, and when that opportunity presented itself, those guys executed at a really high level.
You mentioned how it was a really tough month.
Was that play set up by all that heavy you guys ran last week, do you think? I think only two-man route.
Yeah, our numbers obviously have been really heavy run with those bigger packages, and so certainly we had some pass game opportunities in the plan, and that one was able to be successful, and we were able to utilize it.
You mentioned how it was a tough month for your guys, and you talked about the first win, but did it make it, that much sweeter, the fact that, for a couple of those first few games, you guys were so close to getting that win and just weren't able to get over the hump, the fact that you were able to do so now, do you think it made it, a little sweeter?
I think our guys have grown a lot through this journey. We know we've played some good football. We haven't earned the wins that we certainly is the ultimate goal, but I think our guys have battled each and every week. Seattle got away from us. That was the one that was frustrating. The other ones were right in it. We're close. We got to make a couple more plays. We got to find those margins to close a little bit more, and I felt like our guys went out there and played really well this week.
Kool-Aid got matched up against Theo Johnson on a couple of important plays. One that worked out really well at the end. Was there any design to that, or those were just circumstances?
Yeah, there's some circumstance. Yeah, there's some circumstance there based off the call. Sometimes you're matched up against whoever the number one receiver is, based off the presentation and look. And so Kool-Aid responded really well in a bunch of these situations.
Do you like the way, though, that early in the game, obviously Johnson got the size matchup?
Yeah.
But then Kool-Aid handled it the same way.
Yeah. He responded really well. I thought Kool-Aid made a bunch of plays as that game progressed. I thought our guys responded really well. There's times you're going to have advantageous situations. There's times you're going to have hard downs and hard situations. Our guys understand that, and our guys' ability to respond to that is critical.
What's going through your head when you see the lead flicker developing, and then what did you think of Burgess's?
Yeah, obviously, as soon as you see it, oh man, here we go. And awesome play. Burgess, the ability to recognize it, the ability not to panic in that situation, because so many times there's clips all over where guys just go and run into the guy, and okay, we stopped the play, but it's a 50-yard gain in that situation. For him just to still compete, have some patience to himself as far as some calmness, I thought it was a big time play, it was a critical play for us.
Spencer is at that bugaboo of being 0-10 as he started so far. What does it mean to you to be able to help him and guide him to his first victory?
I thought I did a lot of good. I'm really happy for Spence. He's battled through a lot, through certainly a year and a half of football, here, and so thought he's played a lot of good football this year with us. He's competed each and every week. We've been really close. We haven't gotten it done collectively. For him to get this one, he's earned it. He's earned it, and I thought he had a huge impact on this game in a positive way.
How did you guys were down on the Carl Granderson sack that was called?
Yeah. I saw a sack. Yeah, it's disappointing just because obviously you're trying to educate your players, and when you don't feel like as a coach you have an answer to help educate your players on how to play the game, that's frustrating because obviously you coach to give those guys the best chance to be successful, and obviously it's going to be a great opportunity for us to learn ultimately whatever the opinion of that play is, because it's a frustrating play when you do so much good, and that's a frustrating one as a coach. You feel like you're helpless in that situation.
How does that process go? Like, do they follow up with you at some point and say this is why you can use that to teach?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, we'll see if there is. Sometimes you can get an educational point out of it. Sometimes you don't. And so we'll see if our league provides something for really our whole league to figure that out.
When you guys were down 14-3, you scored 23 unanswered to end the game. What impressed you the most about your team's response from that moment on? I know a lot of turnovers mixed in there, but what?
Yeah, I thought the turnovers are huge, and I think our ability to respond and get some points out of the turnovers, I thought, obviously had some value. The way we ended the second quarter, I thought was nice. We'd missed our opportunity. Defense makes a play. We get another opportunity to at least get some points there and take the lead before half. I thought that was a critical moment for us to, we haven't led a game this year, and so to go into halftime finally with a lead, feeling the confidence, and then for our guys to come out and play really good football in the second half, I thought spoke to our guys' resiliency.
Does anything stand out about the adjustments Brandon Staley made? Obviously, you guys had a lot more success against our offense in the second half. Anything you could say that he did that helped?
Yeah, I thought our guys, just the communication and just the subtle adjustments throughout a game, I think, are really, really critical, and that's what makes Brandon special. His ability to make those adjustments in the moment, make a different call, make an adjustment. I thought our guys communicated at a really high level on defense. They're going to present a lot of different looks on the back end. I thought our secondary just did an excellent job communicating, being on the same page, being all tied together. Our rush was resilient. Jackson's going to get out and make some plays out in space, and so you got to be able to respond after that. He's going to make a play, and you got to respond, and so credit to all those guys.
How do you evaluate the special teams as a whole?
Yeah, obviously some positives. Certainly we did some good things. It's ultimately not quite good enough. We got to keep battling there. And so we got the right guys. We got a bunch of guys who've had a lot of success in this league. And when you go through bumps, you bring it a little bit closer, you bring it a little bit tighter, you find the solutions together, and we keep moving.
You mentioned offensively the frustration of not having the explosive plays. Do you think a guy like Kool-Aid on the defensive side kind of needed that interception, needed to see one go his way?
Yeah, certainly with Kool-Aid, he's been close on some opportunities. He hasn't quite gotten the ball production yet in his career, and so for him to make two plays, I thought awesome job by him. Credit to him. Great plays right when we need them.
Kellen, will you be again? Do you have any game balls after this one?
Yes, absolutely. So we'll we gave Spence and Kool-Aid a couple in there. We'll obviously get plenty more guys on Monday as we evaluate the film and have an opportunity to kind of recognize all the good that came into this game. And so it's an awesome opportunity for our entire team to recognize the good stuff that came out of this.
Do you have any plans to celebrate your first win?
I don't know. I'm tired. These weeks are long, so I'm ready to hang out and get a little sleep.
First of all, did you get ball two? And second, totally unrelated, but was there another call that was confusing to you in the first half near the pylon? Is that you think you'll be seeking?
The challenge? Yeah, the challenge. It was a tricky look. I knew it was kind of a 50-50. We just didn't get a ton of looks. We felt like there was a chance for a replay there. And so, I knew I was taking a little bit of a chance they may not have converted there. They got on line scrimmage. They were able to run the play. Felt like there was a chance whether the ball was bobbled at that point. And so, we didn't get it done. And, yes, AK gave me a game ball. AK is the best.
What is this, as best you can say, and I know you don't like questions about yourself, but what does this feel like for you to get this one? Just, a proof of concept kind of thing. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Walking off that field, what does that feel?
No, I think for all of our guys, for all of our coaches, this entire group that's come together, there's a lot of resiliency that's had to come through for 4 games, to miss 4 opportunities and to be close and feel like you're playing some good football. And so felt like it was good. Felt like it was a big-time momentum opportunity for our team, establish some winning success, and hopefully it carries on in the future. All right. Thanks, guys. There he is.
All right, that's Kellen. Here's Spencer.
All right, how we doing?
Not as good as you.
Oh, feels good, man. Feels good to get that first win. It was a team win. Defense played great. O-line played elite today. I believe we had 0 sacks versus that front. So, that's a great building point, and, catch that momentum, go on a run, just keep working, keep progressing, and keep doing what we're doing.
Can you walk us through what you saw on the 87-yard touchdown with Rashid?
Yeah, we had that play dialed up, knew what we were going to call going into that series. I told Sheed, just make that safety turn, and he had him spin. That corner bit down, and just great protection, put the ball up, and he took it to the house. It was a good feeling.
When you let go of that, is the biggest mission to, not overthrow it? You know what I mean? Because you see him coming free, it seems like you dropped kind of a soft pass to him. Is that the biggest obstacle to not overthrow it?
Yeah, you just put it to a spot. It's hard to overthrow him. I put it towards that sideline so we can run under it, and connected really well. Repped it throughout practice, since training camp. So it's good for it to come to life, and was a play we needed in the game to bring some momentum, and that definitely turned some things around.
You guys have been chasing that explosive play in the last 4 weeks. What does it feel like to finally have one to be back?
Yeah, that was, again, a defense that presented an opportunity for those shots. So we had it dialed up this game. Could have connected on a few more, I think, but it's good to get that one. You could see what one big play can do for a game. There was a few others, but overall, pleased with it. We got to finish in the red zone. Thought we were really good on third down today, and but still got to finish in the red zone a little better.
Is that the first time you've kind of gotten exactly what you wanted? Look, play, opportunity, coverage, all that kind of comes together, and on one of those shots.
Yeah, this year I would say so. It was the perfect look. It was a great route, great protection, great call. But yeah, it was dialed up, and it was ran well, executed well.
And does that under center play action kind of help maybe create some of that, downfield turning your back, maybe getting them to bite a little bit, and does that help create that look?
Yeah, I think so. Especially when you're going out on first down, or trying to run the ball. They might expect running, and boom, especially backed up. They might think they're trying to run, and then you get a shot. Run play drive, that's always great for them.
Could you feel the difference in the crowd in the Superdome after that one play? It's that's maybe the most awake they've been in a year.
Yeah, that was it was nice to look around and see everybody dancing and turning up, and that was our message today. Let's put on for the home crowd. Let's go out there, make a statement and get a big win. And we needed a win. We needed those vibes, and it's definitely a much better feeling for sure.
What was it like for you to see your defense come up with those 5?
It was huge. It was great to see. They played their tails off. Credit to them. They kept us in that game as well, and we could do better. We could do a better job offensively, taking advantage of those turnovers, especially in plus territory. We gotta, we're getting down there to the red zone. Now, credit to the Giants; they did a great job with their coverage down there. Kind of eliminating some shots towards the red zone, end zone area. But we got to find a way, to score those points. And we had opportunities, and we left them out there. So that's room for improvement. But we'll clean that up going into this next week and try to hit those.
Like kind of an emotional lift getting Jason back in the lineup today, and kind of what was that process like for you guys this week, only having a couple days of him working with y'all?
Yeah, Taysom and Foster, having those guys back just brings great energy, great vibes. I mean, you heard the Who Dat chant. I mean, that got us rolling from the jump. Those guys, they're the heartbeat of our team, two of our top guys, and just having them on the field, on the sideline, dressed out, playing, it's a good feeling for all of us.
Spencer, you had the motive we were being, 0-10 as an NFL starter, but you get your first 2 wins. What does that mean to you personally?
It's big, you got to weather the storm. Just keep going, keep having the same process. The outcome will take care of itself. The past is the past. Now we're just looking towards the future. Keep stacking wins, keep some momentum going, and try to get W's every week.
Looking towards that future, what can a win like today kind of do for y'all momentum-wise moving forward?
Yeah, just seeing who we are, what we can be, and knowing we left stuff out there as well. I think that's a good thing. We left points out there. We could have scored way more. So there's definitely room for improvement, but it's good to get a win. It's an NFL game. It's not easy. Hard to come across wins in this league, and it's good to get one.
Spencer, Kellen said that you got a game ball. What did that mean to you? What will you do with it?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. He got a game ball as well. Obviously, first win for him, first win for me. So it's a good feeling. Keep that ball at home, and keep it for a long time.
Your message to the fans after the game included something like, "Gotta make the streak."
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about doing it?
Yeah, just keep doing our process, week to week, day to day. Keep focusing on our attack mode in practice and walkthroughs, whatever. We had a great week of practice, probably had our best walkthroughs pregame, and, guys were just dialed this week. We knew it was like a must-win situation that was in our mind. So, it's good to get a win at home, and just got to keep it going, keep going.
How did you see the team kind of, we ask about it every week, but 3 of those losses were really close against 3 really good teams.
Mm-hmm.
How did you see the team kind of stick with it and get to this point together?
Yeah, we were close in a lot of these games, and, it comes down to a few plays each game, offensively, defensively, special teams-wise. And we made just a few more plays than they did today, and that's how you win a game. Defense, obviously, you're going to win when you have a great turnover ratio like that. We protected the ball well. We protected the ball well all year, but it was good to have some explosives today, catch some momentum in the defense, how they played. It was great.
You brought it up. I mean, this is like a loaded defensive front they have to get through today.
Mm-hmm.
No sacks. What do you think?
Yeah.
About the offensive line?
They've been great all year. They've worked their tails off. Those guys, that's not an easy front to deal with. A lot of speed, a lot of power, a lot of experience. And we had a great plan. We executed it well, got the ball out quick, and hit our shots when they were there, and moved the ball pretty well.
You mentioned your process a few times, and obviously it's not just lip service, because you never really pressed when things weren't going your way, or force passes. How do you just stay within that, even when things aren't going your way, and not feel the pressure of man, I got to win a game here, or something like that?
You just can't look too deep into it. You got to just kind of control what you can. I know I said that a lot, but, like I said, it's hard to come across wins. It's good to get one. You can't press, because if you press, you turn the ball over a few times, you're going to lose that game. So you got to protect the ball, number one, and then, hit our shots when they're there. So that's what it comes down to. Those check downs that go for 10, 12 yards, those are huge plays in the game, just like an 87-yard touchdown, so – got to have a balanced attack, and feel like we did well today.
Not everyone can do that, though. Are you ever fighting that, the urge to maybe go out and throw a hero ball or something like that?
Yeah, there's always an urge, especially if we have the right look. We took a few today that we got 4 PIs today, which is great. We knew they were a grabby man, defense, and knew we had those opportunities. So count those as explosives as well. You got to give your guys opportunities, because it's either 50-50 or in stride or a PI.
You talked about him before, but Torres Simpkins, and just, what have you seen working with him over the course of this week?
Yeah, just a confident guy, smart guy, plays really hard. You can rely on him. So he's another great part of our offense. And, Caesar's been a good big bro to him, and that O-line room, obviously he's a younger guy, but he's playing his tail off. So, he's going to keep doing his thing.
You have to catch your wind after the Rashid score. It looked like you were chasing that pretty good.
It's probably the fastest I ran all game. But yeah, you get excited, man. You get turned up, and, you want to have that energy throughout the whole game. Those plays create energy for the whole team, the whole crowd, and we definitely want to have more of those going forward. All good. Thank you.
All right, shout out to Spencer, man.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing
good.
How are you doing after
I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
You gonna try to play both ways after that second one? Show them those hands on the go up and get it?
Yeah, I'm gonna play a little offense. I'm just playing.
How good did it feel to get those 2 interceptions in the fourth? I mean, it's just such a crucial time to help your team slam the door shut and get that first win.
Oh man, I just want to thank my teammates and coaches first off, trusting me and believing in me. That's number one, man. But it definitely felt good to be able to help them guys because that's my job, that's my role. So I want to thank them, and yeah.
What was your week of prep like leading up to this week?
I feel like I was a little more locked in this week. I did a little extra of everything. I put in more work this week. I trained hard. I ran on my own a little bit after practice, and I'm sticking to that definitely. Definitely found me a new routine, and I'm gonna stick to it.
Was that a big part of that second interception? Because it looked like you kind of knew where that was going off the snap. Was that a film study?
Film study thing, but more in the game. They kept kind of running that same little play, so I just finally decided to go and press it and jump it.
That first interception, you went sideline to sideline. What was the assignment there, and kind of what you see on the field?
I kind of felt them run 1 under 2, so I kind of knew the quarterback was going to I didn't know this, but I knew everybody was kind of running back this way. So I kind of just played over the top of everything and caught me one.
It was only Dart's second game as a starter. Do you think that y'all were able to kind of take advantage of the fact that he had, such little NFL experience as a rookie?
Well, we knew when we watched him on film all week that he's an energetic guy, that he liked to make the big plays, that he can use his legs, that he can make the throws, and he came out and he definitely played like we expected. So, just watching him, we know that it is a possibility that he can have a good game, and you have to kind of contain him.
Did Brandon Staley change a lot, and were there a couple of little things that he changed that you could say, because obviously Dart had a lot of success early and then didn't have success after that?
Well, we kind of knew just watching them in the first half. We knew kind of what they was going to do and what they wanted to do. We kind of got familiar with the plays that they was running. So, it was easier for Coach, man. Coach do a good job of adjusting at halftime. He do a good job of talking to us and letting us know what's going on and how we're going to defend exactly what's going on. So, yeah, Coach Staley is definitely good, man.
After those 2 touchdown drives by the Giants to go 14-3 to start, and kind of going off this last question, what was the sideline like at that moment? Because after that, you guys didn't give up another point, outscored them 23-0. Was there something, said, any, leadership speeches or whatnot? And what do you think was the biggest thing that allowed y'all to really kind of clamp down after that?
Man, we believe in each other, man. We know we got a talented group. We know if we play together, believe in each other, and play for one another, that we can be as special as we want to be. So I feel like coming out of halftime, that was something that we harped on. That was something that we was talking about. That was something that we wanted to depend on, and that's what we did.
If I remember right, you were lead blocking on Jordan Howden's fumble recovery touchdown. What do you remember from that play and just running down the sideline?
I was going Slayton. He's kind of fast guy. He tried to come down the crack, but the ball had already fumbled by then, so that's how Jay Howard was able to get it. And I knew that Slayton is kind of a fast guy, so I knew I had to go and get on my horse so we can make sure that we get this touchdown, because I knew how important it was. And that just goes with being good teammates, man. He would have did the same for me, man, so why not do the same for him? I feel like this defense is very special. I love those guys. I love this team, man. So when plays like that come up and my fellow teammate is making the play, it feel like I'm making the play, so why not block for him?
You ever been a part of a team that forced 5 straight turnovers?
No, not 5, about 3.
What's that like, just like every drive ended like that?
Well, we harp on getting turnovers. That's all we talk about. The ball. Our coaches do a good job of putting us through turnover circuits. We do a good job of getting to the ball in practice. So it finally came to the game.
Cool, you got a game ball.
Man, like I said, man, I'm just glad my coaches and teammates trust me and believe in me. So for me to get the game ball from those guys is very special to me. It's something for me to build on. It's something for me to continue to grow. I feel like it's areas where I can continue to grow, and that's what I got those guys for. So I love those guys.
Would you see on the pass breakup with the tight end, and I think it was in the end zone, you knocked one away?
Man, I kind of knew when they got in that set that they kind of wanted to run the big post and kind of box me out. So I kind of seen the quarterback check. So I knew when he checked, there was nothing else to check too. Like the guy's not going to run the route. I knew he was going to run the fade. So I kind of just played it.
Did you see Brian Brzee knocking the ball out of the one on Jordan Howden?
Yeah, I definitely seen it.
View of that? And what did you see? What happened?
It looked like he was getting blocked a little bit, but he had one hand free in his gap, and he just reached out and got it out. We punched it out. And like I said, that's something we practice on every day at practice, and it came to the game.
So it feel like it certainly was a turning point in the game, the way that the defense kind of took over. But does this feel like a turning point for you all, even looking at it from here?
Yeah, man. We got a 24-hour rule on this, man. We're gonna get in the lab and learn from our mistakes. We're gonna build from this. I feel like we're gonna get in and we're gonna build for this.
When you guys first start today, you were in a similar situation last year, getting thrown in as a rookie. How do you think
Oh, man, I feel like Quincy is a good player, man. I feel like he handled it very well. He made a play on a deep ball, great play. And that's just him, man. He's a great guy, great teammate. He come to work every day, has a great mindset for him to be a rookie.
Well, I know you're a basketball guy. When you see that ball coming at you, like when you cross your guy up, you got to make the shot. When you see that ball coming at you, is it hard to not think too much about, like, oh, I got to catch it now?
Oh, no, it's routine, man. Catching the ball is routine. It's something you do since, at least me, it's something I've been doing since I was 4 years old, is catching the ball. So when I see it, I just know to go get it. I don't think nothing else.
How big is like this domino effect, or when someone catches heat, y'all kind of just rattle off the turnovers?
That's very special. Like I said, we like to lean on each other. We like to be there for each other. We're a special group. So once you see one guy making a play, it's like you made the play. Now you want to make a play. I mean, that's just how it goes, and it just keep happening like today.
You held on to that ball after the interception. Why'd you keep it? And what did it mean to you?
It mean a lot, man. I just know I work so hard. I grind this off season, grind with my guys. So when the opportunity like that comes, it just feel good. It feel like the work is paying off. But I also understand that I got to keep my head down and keep grinding.
Where would you put it? You got a special place at home?
Oh yeah, definitely. I got a spot at home. I'm gonna put it there, definitely. Right now, I got a football in there that I just keep at the house. I put right there just to keep at the house and throw around. But now I'm finna replace that with both of those balls. So yeah, it's very special.
You see video of the second one? You see it yet?
No, I ain't even see it. I seen the video just come to my phone, but I ain't even watch it because I was in here.
You gotta like that. Yeah, you gotta like that.
Thank you, guys.
How would you describe the significance of this particular victory in light of not just the start of this season, but you were here last year and how last season ended? I mean, it must have felt like quite a long time since you walked off the field like this.
Oh man, last year's last year. This year's this year. I feel like it's very special, and it's like I said, something for us to build on this year with this team and this staff. So man, it's very special for us. I feel like we just got to build on it. We got to keep our head down and keep chopping.
What did this mean to you guys to get this for Kellen Moore? I mean, it's his first one.
Yeah, I'm very happy for Coach Moore, man. He give us his all. He care. He care about his players. He's a very special coach. I'm very blessed to have Coach Moore. So I'm very excited for his first win, man. He got a big smile, so it was glad to see it today.
Same question for Spencer.
Oh, Spence. Oh my God, man. We came in together, man. We always kind of got that connection because we know we came in together. We know we kind of on two different ends of the team, but we got to make sure that we're doing our parts, and we know that we play two important roles. So, we look at each other all game. We kind of wink at each other. We know, like, there's nothing else to say, but for him to get that win, man, I'm very happy for Spence, man. I feel like he's a great guy, for one. He's a great quarterback, like y'all said. Man, he know how to take 12 yards. He know how to throw it 40 yards, man. He's a very special guy, man. So I'm glad to have him as my quarterback.
Feel like we got able to get Coach Moore to turn up in the locker room?
No. I just say he just had a great big smile, man. He just smiled. Coach just smiled. All right, thank you guys for having me. I should have brought my Gatorade, man. I'm doing good.
When you saw, take take us through the whole play, like what you saw, when you thought you had a shot at it, all of that?
Literally, we're playing the call, first of all, and then I think it was Brian that forced the fumble. And then I see it bobble like behind a lineman, and I just seen it like open grass, so I just picked it up and just run for my life. So.
Kickoff coverage on the next.
Say that one more time.
Were you on the kickoff coverage?
Yes, I was on kickoff too. So. Oh, after that play, no, I had to take that one. I was like, hey, hold on. Nah, yeah.
How did that go about? You just tell them I'm losing?
Nah, they know. They play football. You know how tired it is. I'm just glad they gave me the playoff so I can catch my breath a little bit and able to get back on the field a couple plays after that. So.
Yes, Justin came out and then you had the fumble recovery. You almost got the fumble recovery. Burgess broke up the field. Just what does that say about the depth that you guys have in that room?
Says a lot. During the week we always preach. The ball is the most important thing in football. And like you said, we practice turnovers and practice in drills and team periods and stuff like that. And you go out there, you talk it, you preach it, and then you go out there and you fly around. Good things happen when you're around the ball. So.
What did you think of that Burgess play on the week? I don't know how well you saw it.
That was actually the play of the game. If you guys, really watch football, that saved the whole touchdown, and that's a big play by him. It might not be in the papers, but that's probably like the biggest play in the game. So.
It'll be in the papers.
Oh, I hope so. It needs to. So, 'cause that saved us for sure. So.
It seems like you guys are real tight in that secondary group. Does that togetherness kind of help fuel the playmaking and everybody feeding off each other?
Yes. You hang around with your teammates off the field. That builds chemistry within the room, and you laugh and you communicate. When we watch film and stuff like that. And like you said, everybody, you never know when your time is up. So we always make sure, if you're not starting that game and if something happens, football's weird, so you don't know when it's your opportunity to go in, and then make sure you know what you're doing out there. So that says a lot just in the room that we're all paying attention and being ready.
What's the conversation like before the turnaround happens, right? There's two opening touchdowns on their possessions. What's the conversation like amongst all of you on the defensive side about kind of taking control of that and staying calm in that situation?
Like you see, the first few drives, going against the offense, is the hardest drives because you don't know what you're going to get. And then once you start getting used to, the play calling they got going on, then, you get on the sideline, you communicate, you just talk you just calm down, communicate, and let's go get the ball. And like I said, good things happen when you're on the ball and everybody's flying to the ball. So.
Who's kind of the calming presence in a situation like that?
For sure, DeMario. It might seem calm to him, but he's definitely yelling. So, but yeah.
How hyped was Justin for you after the game? Is there kind of a proud dad energy going on there?
Oh no, for sure. He was definitely more excited than I was for sure when I seen him, and even when Julian was out there too, he had a video and everything. We just talked about it. It's just cool to see the vets. Just happy for the young guys and go out there just having fun. So.
Were there adjustments that Brandon Staley made that you could point to have the success you guys did in the second half?
A little bit. There's always going to be something to adjust off of. But like I said, you make a call, you execute the call, and you fly to the ball. That's all it is. And you can see that's all we were doing from the D-line, from linebackers, and the DBs. And that's how you get 5-0. You get 5 turnovers. That just sets you up for a big W at the end of the day.
Was it as simple as just getting used to what they were doing?
Yeah, a little bit. But, they can always switch it up. But, you always have that might, okay, if you get in this, they might do this. So you always have to keep that in your head, okay, just make sure you just actually just execute the call and just go out there and just fly around. I don't know.
You just mentioned DeMario, but for him and Cam to also make plays
Yeah.
today and, use the younger guys, follow suit in that, how special is that?
Like you say, it always starts, especially up front. The front seven is what drives us to go out there and just play fast. Because when they're dominating the O-line and they're getting sacks and strip sacks, them getting tackles and stuff, that hypes us up and that creates opportunities for the secondary to go out there and get picks and fumble recovery. So.
You mentioned flying around a couple of times. Do you feel more free to do that in Staley's scheme, or
rather the Staley scheme open you up to be able to?
For sure. Your eyes is more on the quarterback and backfield, and you get to see more, and you get to play a little patient. So, like, you don't just got to, oh, this is my man, and stuff like that. So, definitely gives you a leeway of, like, okay, I can break on the ball faster than the previous scheme. So, yeah.
Make it cool getting 2 picks today. I picked number 1 and 2 in his career. So,
very proud of him. You know, it's a big thing, you know, to get your first INT, especially in the NFL, but then to get 2 in one game. Definitely, like, I know I heard you guys talking about where is he going to put it. Definitely got to have a special place to put at least fit 2 of them or stack them or whatever. But like I said, just proud of him. You know, he during the week he's always preparation. You know, he's communicating. He's doing way better than he was last year. So be proud of him. So.
Did you keep your fumble recovery goal?
Oh, for sure. Oh, that's coming on with me. Yeah, I need that. Yeah.
You got a spot for it already?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Did you ever have a sleeping score?
No, or like you talking about like. No, didn't have one in college, but this would definitely be my first one since probably like high school. So that's definitely a big deal for me. So like I said, I'm just proud of myself to go on there and having the opportunity to go get it. So.
It's been 300 days since y'all won. I mean, does it feel like it's finally in that drought?
You know, you try not to think about it like that. You know, like you have a new coach, new team, new atmosphere, new players. You know, you always come in like. Just trying to get that nasty taste out your mouth, like, oh, I'm used to losing, none of that. So it's just like it's the next right step. You know, it gives us confidence from coaching staff and also as players. So this is, like I said, it's the next right step, and let's just keep it going.
What was the post-game locker room like?
Oh, definitely. It's been a while since we had the fog and music playing and stuff like that. Almost forgot how that was. So. To actually feel that and to seeing Kellen Moore, you know, he's a humble guy, so you see him smiling and, you know, just getting with the guys. So that was pretty cool, you know, for him to actually experience that, you know, like we used to do in the past. So, I appreciate you.
How's everybody doing?
Good. How's this feel right now, just in general? Like, is it a weight lifted a little bit?
You could say so. You could definitely say so. It feels good to come into the locker room, like Jay Howe just said, to music and, you know, everybody smiling and dancing. That's what we, you know, work hard for. So it all paid off this week.
How long do you give yourself the opportunity to enjoy this before it's like, all right, focus in on the next thing?
We got till tomorrow. We're gonna break down the film tomorrow morning, and as soon as that ends, you know, we're on to the next. We got to carry this over, this good energy and positive outlook from this past game, and, you know, keep it going.
The touchdown kind of looked like maybe you faked it inside and went back out. Like, just walk us through what you saw there and get back out.
Yeah, so my job was, you know, just to get to the hash and, you know, break towards the sideline. As soon as the ball was snapped, I saw that I had one-on-one with the safety, so I tried to sell that I was going across the field as much as possible. And once I saw his hips turn, then I broke towards the corner, and you know, the rest was history. And Smith laid out a great ball. O-line did great, and that's how you know, plays like that work.
Is there anyone that you think could flip their hips fast enough to get with you? Like, as soon as you catch them in that?
No, definitely not.
Was that play set up by, you guys ran so much like heavy last week, under center,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that was 13 personnel on that play.
Yes.
Was that set up by what y'all did last week?
Yeah, 100%. You know, we noticed that, you know, when we get in those 13 personnel, the safeties might not be, their eyes might not be as good, and, you know, I was able to get up to the second level and, you know, run my route, and it all worked out. It was an executed play.
When you catch that ball, are you 100% sure that no one's going to catch you?
I was kind of nervous at first because I turned around, and I saw he was kind of close. I thought he might trip me up, and I didn't want to lose my, you know, none of respect in the locker room for my speed. You know what I mean? So.
So you're going in top speed on that play?
Yeah. Did anybody get the top speed? I want to know.
It's 21.72, which is the fastest.
I'll take it. I'm happy about
Well,
that.
the Next Gen Stats website said that. The TV said 22.72.
We'll go with that one. We'll go with TV. Yeah, TV. Yes, TV's right. Yeah. It felt good. I feel like we were waiting on a play like that to hit for the last few weeks. When the opportunity came, like, we executed, and, you know, that's always a great feeling, and I felt like it built momentum for the rest of the game for the offense.
It has been a long time for you since you caught a long touchdown Is it just kind of a relief to get one out of the way this year after you got a long rehab? And I feel like
Right.
Of course, still next year, there's first day chance, but it had to be a nice feeling.
Yeah, it was a great feeling. An even better feeling to get the win off of that. But yeah, no, I wouldn't feel like I was waiting for it. I knew the opportunity was going to come eventually. But like I said, once the time comes, I just had to be ready for it, and we all were, all 11 guys on the field.
Was that what you guys were sitting on, that even, from Wednesday or Thursday, that you knew that was going to work? You were just waiting for the, the time or the situation where it would?
Yeah, it's all about time and situation with plays like that. And it worked perfectly. It was called at a perfect time. I believe it was the first play of that drive, so it was a great call, and we worked it out.
What's the locker room's reaction to getting Spence a win after the 0-10 thing? They come out and get his first win.
Right, it's amazing. I'm super proud of him. I'm super impressed by him. He's come in and he's handled everything like a pro, and he comes to work every day. So I'm definitely not surprised at all the good things that have been happening, and to get that win, and hopefully they gave him the football for that touchdown reception. It's got to be his longest, so I'm super proud of him.
You mentioned this offseason about your role kind of expanding in this new offense. Beyond the big 87-yard touchdown, you had that fourth down conversion over the middle of the field. Is that a part of what that kind of expanded role looks like for you?
Yeah, 100%. Not just being a deep threat in this league. I've known for a while that I could run all the routes, and now this year I feel like I'm being able to kind of put that on display a little bit. And an example is that fourth down. And that felt good. That kind of sealed it for the offense, and gave us some momentum going into next week. So feels good.
What worked on that play?
It was man. We knew they were going to run man, and I had an option route whether to break in or out. I saw off the ball that they blitzed, so I took the middle of the field, and Spencer put it on me, and I was able to convert.
If I remember, you had an ACL injury in college, right?
I did. Yep.
What do you make of Taysom and Foster having 3 practices before going on play?
Yeah, no, they're insane for that. For them to be able to come back as fast as they did. Then not a lot of people can do that. So it shows how much heart and how much courage they have, and how much they love the game of football to be able to come back and have an impact on the team. First game back. So super proud of them. They worked hard throughout all the offseason. They haven't missed any days. So I'm super impressed.
They give the team a lift having them out there?
100%. Anytime you have some of your best players out there, including a guy like Taysom Hill, Foster, is a heartbeat of the team. So it's always good to have them back. Yeah, you could feel it as an offense. We've been waiting for a play like that, to spark, the rest of the guys, and just to be able to have that and get that out of the way. It feels good, and I feel like we'll be able to build off of it.
A couple people have mentioned Kellen smiling after the game. It feels like he's always smiling. Just can you tell a little about his optimism and kind of what that's meant for this locker room for the first month?
Yeah, no, he comes to work and he lets us know, exactly what he wants. He's not too high or too low at any point, and I feel like that's something that we like, but it's really good. Everything that he represents, everything that he's brought to this team, and we love how he coaches, and we definitely play for him each and every week.
When you see a defense do what they did, or 5 consecutive turnovers as an offense, what is the vibe like on the side?
Yeah, vibe's great. Anytime the defense can get turnovers, as many as they did today, they're going to put us in good position. They gave us good field position throughout the whole game, and so when we turn the ball, or when they turn the ball over 5 times, we have success.
What did you take from Taysom's speech before the game? Stuff like
Yeah, when a guy like Taysom talks to you, you listen and you kind of lock into what he has to say, and I feel like that kind of got us fired up. It felt good to have him in the circle again, and moments like that, you see that he's back and he's ready to go and he's ready to fight for us. So
that's normally DeMario's spot too. So what does it say about the level of respect that
yeah.
guys have to see that?
Yeah, no, he has the same level of respect. He's a leader, he's a captain. He's played in this league for a long time and he's made a lot of plays. So how could you not want a guy like that to lead your team? Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, man, I was sitting here chilling. Shit, I'm about to go start cooking and everything. Big ups to the fam, man. That was a long run there, man. to see all those guys, but it's a positive one. It's good to see the Saints get their first win. My old motto, man, win and learn. Win and learn. That's how we got to do this thing. Saints are now 1-4, so that's a good thing, man. Let's hit the scores, man, to kind of get a little information on what happened with the rest of the league. We got a victory, but how the rest of the NFL look? The Cardinals right now in the second quarter are beating the Titans 21-6. The Buccaneers right before halftime up on the Seahawks 13-0. The Lions in the second quarter are beating the Bengals 14-0. The Commanders are trailing the Chargers 10-0. Tonight we see the Patriots, who we will face off with next in the Superdome. They go against the undefeated Bills. The Vikings got a victory over the Browns. The Browns are 1-4 as well. The Vikings improved to 3-2. The Raiders get just eviscerated by the Colts 40-6. How about the Colts and Daniel Jones? They are doing a pretty good job handling their business, man, to be quite honest with you. They're doing a positive thing. They win 40-6. They are, how about the Colts, are 4-1. Who's seen that coming? Of course, the Saints get their victory, the first one of the season. They're 1-4. So are the Giants with 26-14 loss. Cowboys get a nice win over the 0-5 Jets led by Aaron Glenn. Really struggling. Cowboys beat them down 37-22. Sean Payton gave the Eagles their first loss of the season. Coach Payton was going for what he know. 21-17 in the game. The Dolphins fall to the Panthers. So the Panthers get a win. They go 2-3. They are perfect at home. 27-24 in a close win over the Dolphins. The Texans big over the Ravens. Ravens got a lot of issues going on from an injury standpoint. And it continues. They are now 1-4, just like our black and gold. But those injuries, man, they got a lot of people hurt. The Texans take advantage to improve to 2-3. Of course, we look at the Thursday game with the Niners getting the win over the Rams. And, of course, the Monday night matchup features the Chiefs and a surprisingly good Jaguar club. So there you go right there. Also on the bye weeks, the Falcons, Bears, Packers, and Steelers are on their bye weeks. And the biggest story of the afternoon for us, being that we're the members of the Who Dat Nation, is that the Saints get the victory, first of the season. And we are happy about that, to be honest with you. So anyway, as we keep it moving, man, let's keep it going into this thing, man. All right. Okay, the fam saying, okay, sound issues right here. Hold on, fam. Let me see if I got some kind of issues going on here. But anyway, Pops, as we keep it going, man, you kind of talk to us about what you heard from these pressers. I know it was a bunch of stuff going on in these damn pressers, man. But kind of talk to us about that. What do you thought about that?
Well, it's pretty positive. They're glad they got the win. I know the spirits have lifted up. I mean, the team has lifted that they fought hard. They was able to force turnovers. The defense was, and that helped us big time. The offense could have generated more offensive, touchdowns, but they got the win, and that's what counts. Thanks to the defense, we had a defensive touchdown, which was good. They forced New York into the mistakes, and they continue to play like they play because they targeted Kool-Aid a lot, but Kool-Aid just had enough of it. Once the Kool-Aid got tired of it, and then the defensive line put some pressure on the young quarterback, make him underthrow. Throwing. He was basically refusing to take a sack. He just throwing the ball up, Hail Mary style, and that's how he got a couple of picks there. So sometimes you got to slow the game down a little bit. They got too far behind, like we did against Seattle. We had all those problems with the special teams, and we need to work. That's a couple of things that we need to work on too with our special teams some more. And also. But overall, I think the Saints played the defense played a good game. I mean, they didn't get sacks, but they put a lot of pressure on Jackson Dart and made him throw some picks. And he was trying to force it a little bit. I mean, he's a rookie, so he's trying to force the issue a little bit. And he tossed the football to the wrong club. So I'm thinking the Saints could build off of this win. Like I said last week, I figured if they didn't win this game, the season would be in pretty bad shape for them. but they come in, they got the win. So we look forward to what's going to happen when New England gets here. I'm having a thinking that they may be able to do something with this game too if they can play. If the defense could play New England, because they don't play New England that often. So if their defense could play like they played today, we could possibly be looking at the Saints making their second win, which is what my hope is, that they would be able to play efficient enough to get the second win.
Yeah, we're gonna see how it goes, Pops. I'm really interested in to see how the Saints respond, and after losing a month worth of games, can the Saints possibly go on the streak? It's very, very winnable games. The defense keep forcing the turnovers. The Saints take care of the ball, and we have to kind of iron out a few more things here, but it's not going to be easy. Like most of these games, this is a fight and a struggle, but still in all, the Saints could improve. The Patriots are not a juggernaut. They're coming down here. The Saints must defend the field. And you never know how it is when the New Orleans Saints, Pops, to be honest with you, when they get that win, and does that then, getting that win, is it good enough for them to then turn around and say, man, I love how that felt. That felt really good to win. We finally got a W after 4 weeks for Kellen Moore. Spencer got him one, and it's a good feel. I'm celebrating together. And sometimes it just takes that one for you to then sink in and then take care of business. And, you got to get in love with that feeling of winning, and you do whatever it takes in the game to get it again. So, I mean, that's a good thing for the Saints. We were close on a couple of these games. Mm-hmm. They got over the situation here. So, like I said, that 24-hour rule. Enjoy. Then Monday, like Rashid Shaheed said, go back to business and improve to get ready for the next team.
That's right.
Patriots are next.
Yep, and that's also a winnable game. It's if they play their defense the way they played today, and if they control the run a little bit better, they get the Patriots offense off the field, and get our defense off the field. The rest, the way they played, if they could continue to improve their play, I'm thinking that we might have a shot at this game coming up this week too. So it would make them 2-4. But it's a great start. It's a great start. They could be 2-4. It's a great start.
Yeah, Pop saying, kid, man, it's good win today by the Saints, man. Learn and win. That's my thing. You might not be perfect, but learn and win, and let's improve as we go. Win, learn, win, and improve. That's the 3 words right there for the Saints moving forward. And with that ID, they can kind of climb up out of this hole and try to attempt to get back to 500 before we get into that NFC South schedule. Yeah, so it's going to be fun, man, watching it. But the rest of the family members, y'all enjoy this win today, man. The Saints got to win. They're now they're 1-4. You got one win is a start, man, and we got the Patriots lining up next. Got a whole week worth of stuff to kind of go over before we get up to that. So anyway, last thoughts before we leave, Pop.
Go Saints. I'm thinking that Kellen's system is starting to catch on with him. He had to come in and he had to mold the team around what his offensive scheme is. And it's starting to work. The players are starting to execute. They executed very well today. I mean, the offense is growing. Let's just put it like that. It's starting to develop and grow. Spencer is starting to fit into the offensive scheme a lot better. He's starting to fit in. You see what I'm saying? Working inside within the offensive, with the offensive of the what the offensive coordinator wants from him. And he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't get sacked. He just played a really steady game. It was a steady game, So they just got to execute. We got to make sure our offensive line is healthy. We got to improve on our running game. The Saints run the ball pretty well, but we also have to stop the run. Our defense did not stop the Giants for most of the game, And then as the game got a little later, then when the Giants saw that they couldn't run on the Saints, they started throwing balls, and then McKenzie grabbed the 2 off the quarterback Jackson Dart. So if we can continue our run defense, continues to improve, I think the Saints, like I said, I believe they have a shot at this game that's coming up.
Yeah, I agree, Pops. I think I think this is the first of more than a handful of wins to start off with to get back to respectability. Sometimes it takes just that one that scaves off a lot of the trade rumors. When you're a winless team, there's a lot of stuff going on, but sticking through it and getting a win is definitely a really great psychological boost for a team. Like all the hard work, we finally was able to get over the hump and get a win and get that feeling. Now let's kind of work toward it. So getting that first one could be a tumble effect. I'm looking forward to it. I think they can do something with the Patriots. The Patriots got a tough one against Buffalo tonight, and the Saints will see them in the Superdome at 12 o'clock kickoff time next Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. But anyway, shout out to you guys. Thank y'all for being in the stream. Do us a service and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the share button. If you're not a sub up. For the new subs, thank you guys for hitting the sub button and joining the Coma. We will be back Monday with the latest information and news. We know that Justin Reed was knocked out with the concussion. We should have an update about that tomorrow. And, of course, Coach Moore he will look at the tape as well and give us his thoughts on the tape on Monday. So a lot of the stuff to kind of talk about. Ro asked about. I'm gonna see if I can line him up for Monday, bro. We'll see if we can get that New York. We'll get Tim from the New York Giants Straight Talk podcast. I'll reach out to him and see if I can get him lined up for Monday sometimes, fam. So he can come back and kind of explain why the Giants lost today. He'll do some splaining. New York style version of splaining. All right, so anyway, with that being said, man, listen, I'll be back tomorrow, man, and we'll cover more of it. You know what? Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all. Peace. And who that? We got our win.
Yeah. Like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. Thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Fucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. You're
listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network. Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
Thank you for making Saints Central your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. Remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop.